Hello everyone, welcome to the Engineering Projects YouTube channel. My name is Junaid Shahid. In this video, I'm going to explain you about the DAPPER CRUD Operations. DAPPER is known as the ORM, Object Relational Mapper. It is the advanced version of ADO.NET which I have explained you in the previous video tutorial. We are going to bind our model with database with the help of DAPPER. We will perform operation in the two ways. First, we will create the SQL command in the C# code, or in the second way, we are going to use store procedure with the help of DAPPER. It will allow us to execute command with the help of models and their classes. So let's get started. Let's create a new project. I have selected ASP.NET Core Web Application and click Next. Then we will declare DAPPER CRUD as the name of our project and create the solution. We are going to perform CRUD operations and the architecture is MVC. We will create CRUD operations with the help of DAPPER with the usage of SQL command and store procedure. Here you can see a sample project is configured. Now when I will open controllers, here we have home controller. I am going to add another controller with the name of DAPPER. In this controller, we will write all the CRUD operations like to create data, read, update and delete data. Now we need to configure the DAPPER controller as the default controller of our application, which we can done easily in the startup and www root files. Even that you can check dependencies, properties and whatever things you need to configure. In the startup, if you will see, when I will click here, it is getting the default controller here, which we can change easily by replacing the name of home with DAPPER. When you are configuring a controller, you don't need to define that it is controller. Like the name of our controller is DAPPER controller and we are defining only DAPPER because we are absoluting the controller. So here we have DAPPER and default action is index. Here we have that. Right click here and add a view. This is simple view and project is building. In this view, we need to create a simple form having one submit button in which we have email and password, which we want to save within the database. So DAPPER will help us to map our object with database. As you know, DAPPER is ORM, Object Relational Mapper. So we are going to create objects and map their relationships. In the index, let's create a form. Text, name, and again copy this, paste, and once more paste it again. So the first is email and second is password and third is submit button. Create. Type is password. So it will create the information and then a new form which will update the information, and here we will use update. So create and update are two different forms. Now use method which is post, and action which is Dapper create. And here we have action Dapper update. Now we need to create these actions. Let me add the method here. And add these actions here. Create, update, and these are of JSON result. We don't need to return view. They can simply return JSON, and you need to use JSON behavior or you don't need to do that, or even that you can use a serialized setting which you want to do, but I'm not doing right now. Let them skip, and it will return JSON result, and simply do that with this. Okay, now we need to create a connection or a model. So let's create a model here, name as login. It is a dynamic property, string email, string password, and use here as a parameter m. Add its reference by clicking here. You can add reference. After adding the reference, you need to create a connection string. String connection is equal. Now we need to define the catalog, the source, and security. For that, we are going to declare data source semicolon initial catalog, which is the name of database, and integrated security, which is credentials. So we are using window credentials, that's why it will be true. Our initial catalog will be Dapper CRUD, and let's open SQL Server. In the SQL Server, we need to create a database which we have not created yet, and then we need to find what is the name of our MS SQL Server name. So it is executed. Copy the name of server and paste that here, save it, connect, and after connecting we need to create that database, new database having this name. The database name is equal to this and click OK. Then we need to create a table. Expand, go to table, right click a table. In the table we need to define two properties. First is primary key, then the email, and then the password. So the primary key always will be type of integer. It is equal n varchar, and here id will be int. Right click here and make it primary key. Come into the bottom and set identity to yes. With the help of this we can auto incremented the primary key and generate a unique ID, and press Ctrl S, which will save the table and prompt to ask you to write the name of table. So the name of the table will be login, and click OK. So table is saved within the database, and now from here the CRUD of Dapper will be started. Before getting started we need to add the plugin with the help of manage Nugget packages for solution. Here we will search the Dapper, not in installed but in browse. Let's search for Dapper, and here you will see a Dapper library will be available. So we need to add this Dapper. Okay, here you can see we have CRUD extension methods for Dapper. So add this, install, and now it will get installed in our whole application. Okay, this is installed now. Now go to our controller and we need to getting started with the Dapper. It is really simple as ADO.NET. Like what I will do, I am going to write using, and here I will create a connection is equal new SQL connection, add its references, this one, and pass this connection string here. Okay, now the connection is built. Now what we need to do, we need to simply execute this connection. How we can execute this connection? We need to create a string. My command is equal insert into login. In these fields, values this, and pass values from M here, email and password. Then use this connection dot query. In this connection we have query. Okay, we use query and we are going to execute data, so we will use execute, and we will pass this command along with our connection. Okay, so we will simply passing this, we don't need to done anything more. Okay, it is saying that nothing is available within this. and it's because we are not using the SQL connection. We are directly using the var. And now let's see. Okay, so it is not giving us the methods. So now what we will do, we will go into the Nugget package manager and add the CRUD methods, CRUD extensions. Okay, we need to add this extension which will allow us to perform different operations. It is really easy to perform these things. You doesn't need any different thing. Either you can use this Dapper extension or you can create that easily here. Okay, here we have a simple problem, which is that we are not using Dapper in our application, so we need to add the reference. When I click here you can see a reference will be appear, which we need to add if we want to use Dapper. So using Dapper, and here this command will be automatically executed. So our command will be executed here. Okay, now what happened when I will submit form to here, the information will appear into the login M, and from M I am going to pass the information to this string, and this string will be executed into the database. So simply select login table and see how it's work, and on the other hand we are going to execute our application. Okay, let's clean the project once. Here we can clean the solution, and then we can build this solution. So the project is cleaned successfully. Now execute this application. Our application is executed now, and you can see we have two forms. First to create the information, and second to update the information. Before creating, let me select the information from table. Now execute this query, and you will see no information is available. Now let me add information, TEP or Junaid, and password is equal to this, and create. The information will be created in the backend. And now execute this query once again. Okay, it is not executed. Let me add the debugger here to inspect that request comes here or not. Now here you can see the information is created. So with the help of Dapper, we have inserted the information with just this command. If you will compare this with ADO.NET, you will get to know how much optimized is Dapper. We done the thing in 2 line, which we have to done into the 3 or 4 line in ADO.NET. So that's why the Dapper is one step ahead from ADO.NET. Okay, stop the execution. Done the same with update. And paste this here. Now we are going to use update command. Update login, set email is equal to this, and password is equal to this. Let me cut and paste value here, and then this value here, and this is done. When I will click on create, the information will be processed here and update within the database. Once again, application is executed, and in this execution we are going to update information. Let me execute, and here you can see this data is available. Now I am going to update the information. So from Junaid to, we are going to say update and update pass and click on update. The process is started and information is getting updated. Here you can see information is updated. Now you can get a big picture, like in one single line I have done insertion, in one single line I have done updation. In up to this we have done SQL command with the help of Dapper. Now we are going to perform rest of operation, which is select and delete, with the help of store procedure in Dapper. Let's stop the execution of application and create delete and select. So here we will go read and remove parameter because I am selecting information from database and we are using store procedure here. So in the before the command we need to add parameter to let our store procedure know which query have to be executed, and for that we need to create dynamic parameters, which we can done like this: where params is equal new dynamic parameters. Now params dot add, first parameter is add flag, comma, the value, and the value is read. And here we have first parameter, and then we need to execute this. Here we need to add procedure name, which is login procedure, comma, the parameter param, okay, params, or simply copy paste this here, comma, command type, which is store procedure. We need to use command type dot store procedure, and that's it. Now it will execute here, and now basically we are extracting information. That's why we need to use query here, query, and here we will pass the model in which form we need to get information, and that is login. Use, here we are going to create login temp is equal new login. Here we need to create a list, and we need to replace this. Then we need to assign value to temp and return value from temp. Okay, we also need to convert this. By default this is enumerable, which we need to convert into list, and that's it. Now this is the list type, return value in the read. We also need to copy this and create the delete. We don't need this code. We need parameter as delete, and we don't need temp, we don't need query, we just go with execute, pass empty value here, we don't need list here, and that's it, and we are done. On the one hand, execute this application. On the other hand, we are going to create store procedure here. So go to the programmability and store procedure. Right click here, create a store procedure. Remember that you don't need to create any typo mistake. Simply copy the name of store procedure and paste that here. Create procedure, this name, and we have parameter as flag. So here we have add flag, which is type of n varchar 50. Default value is equal to this. Here we are going to set if condition, if flag is equal read, else if flag is equal to delete, begin and delete from login, and here we will go select all from login and execute this store procedure, which is done right now. Here you can see we are going to select information, our application is executed. Now name controller Dapper and read, and it's returned me this value. Or if I will call delete, information is deleted, and refresh this, no information is available. Select, and no information is available right now. I hope this video is really informative for you and give you a lot of information about the Dapper ORM and help you in your latest projects. If you have any kind of question, you can ask us, and don't forget to subscribe to the Engineering Projects YouTube channel. If you like this video, don't forget to share on your social media accounts. Take care, bye bye, have fun.